I just want to make sure we're still on the air. Roll call. WBAI, we good? WPFW, we good? We still on? Sirius XM, we good? C-SPAN, I see the red light on C-SPAN, they good, all right. Amen. I'm mischievous. Somebody once asked me to, in an interview, you know, Mark, what do you think about the most powerful political couple in American history? And they thought I was going to talk about half of the couple he just mentioned. And I said, you mean Charles and Inez Barron? What does gentrification look like to you and your community and the institution you serve? Amen.
I bring you greetings from Jackson, Mississippi.
Amen. Yeah.
On behalf of Mayor Chokwe Antar Lumumba.
Yeah.
And I'd like to say that he is not one of those Negro politicians that we've referenced earlier. Mississippi, in Jackson, we're in the process of rebuilding. We're in the process of rebuilding a city that has been exploited and divested in for decades, even with Black leadership. But so even though we don't face gentrification the way many of our other urban areas are facing it, we understand that as soon as we rebuild it, we will have to address it. Our mayor often makes the statement that we will not move our people from one state of misery to another. And that's essentially what gentrification is. Our commitment to our people is involve them in their government. Our commitment is to design our economy, which we call a dignity economy, meaning that every single citizen in Jackson, Mississippi deserves to be treated with dignity and respect, regardless of their economic status, their social status, their level of education. We are committed to building a just society for all human beings.
Yeah.
And in building that just society, we understand the relationship that we as proprietors, as elected officials, the role that we have to serve. We have to serve the role of servant leadership. We are servants.
Yeah.
We are servants of the people. We understand that so often we don't listen, especially when we get elected or we have the doctors, the letters behind our names. We often think that we have the solutions. We have come to understand that we cannot craft solutions unless we craft them in concert with the people who put us in office. So as we build, we constantly touch bases with our citizens. We have what we call people's assemblies, where we go out. When we're getting ready to do something within the city, we go out and we say, what do you think about this? And if you agree with this, how should it be structured? What's the best way this will affect you? We're implementing participatory budgeting to help citizens understand, because they see millions of dollars in the budget and they don't understand how that money is allocated or how it is used. We want them to understand the budget so they can make meaningful input into how their tax dollars are being used within the city of Jackson. So I don't want to go over my 3 to 4 minutes. I just want to say, for those of you who are not aware, our current mayor is the son of Chokwe Lumumba, the revolutionary attorney and member of the new African independence movement. Free the land. Free the land. Free the land. All right, all right. And his father made a statement. His father was elected as mayor in Jackson in 2013. He died, he passed on after 10 months in office.
Yeah.
During his campaign, he made the statement that we all in our administration hold very dear. If you don't love the people, you will eventually betray the people. We have to put people in office who love the people.
That's right, that's right.
And we have to hold them accountable, because power is seductive. Power is very seductive. So we have to make sure that those of us who love the people, that we elevate to these positions of servant leadership, are held accountable, held close to us, so that that love can continue and we can craft freedom and self-determination together. Thank you. Free the land.
Chokwe, again, his father, Ashe, Brother Chokwe Lumumba, his son said to me that we can take Mississippi back. Black folk can govern, and just like the sister tried to do in Georgia, we can take Mississippi back. All right? Please.
Well, thank you all so much for having me here. My name is Ellen Lee. I'm here on behalf of Mayor LaToya Cantrell of New Orleans, the first female mayor of the
Amen.
great city of New Orleans. Year history. She is amazing. She is a community organizer. That's her roots. The work that she did in her neighborhood after Katrina, organizing that community, fighting for resources to bring that neighborhood back. It was one of the neighborhoods that those planners said would not be able to rebuild. You're too low-lying, you have too much water in the neighborhood. She said, I'll be doggone if that's going to happen, not today. And organize so that that neighborhood would come back, that the people of New Orleans would be able to come back and live where they choose to live and not where someone else tells them to live. I just must say that I'm also a lifelong New Orleanian. I have seen the changes that have happened. I live in the Treme neighborhood in New Orleans. When I was growing up, a lot of vacancy, a lot of blight, house prices, nothing like they are today. My 92-year-old mother still lives in the house that we grew up in. And when she tells me that prices in that neighborhood, and I know some of y'all on the East Coast, this is nothing. $250,000, $300,000 for a house in the neighborhood I grew up in, I can't believe it.
Right.
But I tell her, first of all, do not open the door. People come knocking. And the second thing is, we are not selling the homestead. That is the homestead, and we're holding on to that land.
That's right.
But for us, gentrification looks like families who, at the wages they're currently making, have to work over 100 hours a week, would have to work over 100 hours a week to be able to afford living in New Orleans. It means that if you're not making that minimum wage, what you would need to be making is $22 to $25 an hour to be able to afford to live in New Orleans. And for those of you who have been there and come and experienced our wonderful hospitality, our food and music, like in the joie de vivre, like no place else really, with all due respect to my folks here, but like no place else, it don't pay $22 an hour or $25 an hour. And so imagine the hardship on people. Downtown in New Orleans, I've lived there my whole life. I have never seen downtowns being developed in the way that it has. nothing affordable, very little affordability in downtown where people could be actually close to the jobs that they had. But we didn't have policies in place to make that happen when we were trying to rebuild after Katrina. Katrina, which accelerated the gentrification in New Orleans, and because as government officials, we have to take responsibility for our part in doing that.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, we have to hold ourselves accountable for the role that we play.